Welcome back to Cheche, the program where opinion counts. Today's guest has strong opinions on the security operation underway in the country. He is Farah Maalim, the former Deputy Speaker in the 10th Parliament. We should have had someone who supports the security operation with equally strong opinions about it. Senator Kithure Kindiki, he's not here with us just yet. But at the start of the show, you set out your position about why you oppose Operation Usalama. But just this week, there's a chronicle of terrorist attacks in the country. How do you explain to a non-Muslim, non-Somali viewers, because they are texting in, that we're now seeing the Somali community mobilize because they feel themselves under threat? Yet, when we've had incidents, say for instance, the truck that was intercepted with explosives, incidents such as these, that we haven't seen this level of solidarity and mobilization within the Somali community and from Somali leaders such as yourself.
We have like I told you, for the last 7 years, I don't think anybody has done more in trying to engage the security machinery in the country here in dealing with issues of insecurity, and more precisely with the terrorists, the so-called Islamic terrorists. We engaged every office that essentially had the capacity to act on our engagement. I did it myself, Honorable Duale did it, Haji has always been there on the forefront on these things. All of us, as members of parliament and as leaders, have been on the forefront. I don't think you people remember me telling Kenyans all the time, let's get Major General Hussein Ali back and give him some special duties. KTN, NTV, you will get Jeff Koinange Life. Every time we talk about this terrorism and the threat of terrorism itself, my position was that we are not preparing ourselves for that. What more could I have done?
Are you saying these things that the people
get JKL now, or get NTV, and even
I personally remember, I mean, and we've had a discussion.
But are you suggesting only Mohammed can do it?
No, but because he has a history of having done a very good job before. And he knows, he's a Somali. He speaks the language. We trust him. And let me tell you what happened. I don't know if you people remember in the 90s, 98, 99, and there was all these problems, insecurity in Northeastern Province, Garissa, inter-clan, intra-clan, all those things. We had one PC, you remove him, you bring another PC and another PC, and the matter kept on. Until as leaders went to the second president and told him, get us a Somali provincial commissioner.
Okay.
And let me just finish. I want you to hear this. And we were given Swaleh, the current ambassador of the Republic of Kenya in Saudi Arabia. In 15 days, there was not a single incident that happened there. 15 days, the thing stopped. In 30 days, the whole province was, Garissa was the worst place, but the whole province was safe. And in 2 months, it was with the safest, Garissa was the safest town in Eastern Central Africa. It's because insecurity is a business with colossal sums of money. You can only get, you see, we suffer now. As Muslims, we're suffering. As Somalis, we're suffering. We have more interest in bringing the Al-Shabaab menace in this country to an end, so that more than anything else, our own kith and kin, our own blood, who come from the neighboring country, can also go back to their country and reconstruct their country.
A very good
you see what I mean? And we can also live in the kind of peace that we want. And let them try even for once. Let them try. Hussein Ali, bring him back, give him 2 months.
You talk about ethnic profiling.
Yes.
How would you respond to, your presence here on the show and sounding like an ethnic chauvinist?
I'm not an ethnic chauvinist, I'm a Kenyan. But the point is, I'm trying to tell you how to get the peace.
Let me ask you.
I'm trying to tell you how to solve the problem right now, which is the Al-Shabaab problem, which everybody would want to link it to the Somalis. And I'm telling you, let even the people who are going to pay the prices be Somalis. If the officers are going to be killed and executed and you know, killed, let our own Somali officers in the intelligence, in the police, in the administration police take these things.
I think that's
put about 100 of them.
That's reasonable to say, and I think it's a good
put 100
strategy.
of them.
It's a good strategy.
But
let me ask
the
you.
Kikuyus, the Luos, the Luyas, and the rest of them who are in the security machinery are making money out of it. Our people are suffering because of what is perceived to be insecurity that's there. For them, it's a cash cow. You think the Pangani police station officers who walks from house to house, who doesn't even have 10,000 shillings in his own account and walks away with 1 million shillings, will not create insecurity tomorrow? He will personally, one of them will personally go and lob a grenade somewhere so that there is this kind of, it's a cash cow. It's an ATM. Somalis are called ATMs.
David.
I mean, I share your sentiments largely on what you're saying. But the question is, there is very senior Somali representation in the leadership of this country.
Yes.
Quite a lot of people in the security sector, you know, in the administration of Somali ethnicity. What level of engagement is going on to sort of share the perspectives you're offering here with the security agencies, with the government?
We have done so much, Makari. So much so that I would want to use this.
And why is this being
I want to use this
adopted?
opportunity,
This
opportunity of addressing Kenyans, for the government for once to do what we are saying they should do and see the results. I had an SMS from a military officer who fought in Kismayu, a Kenyan military officer, whose mother was put in custody, whose little money they had in his sleeve was taken by the security officers. You can imagine how awful and sad that patriotic Kenyan is going to feel. What I'm saying is that the security, it's my faith which is being demonized. I want to liberate my faith. Mark my words. I want to liberate my community, the Somali community and the Muslim community in this case. This is all in the hands of enemies of us. So we're telling them, we're giving you the right information. The officers are right in your midst. How do you explain there being only one officer, intelligence officer in the whole of Sli? And you carry out a swoop after every short while in Sli. Two reasons, let me explain to you now, and this is probably going to come very hard. One is the way of trying to charm your way out with the international community. I've said this, and I've repeated that many times.
Okay.
To disapprove that, we want to see a change in the way they do it. Secondly, the business community is a threat to other business communities, and with its ethnic chauvinism in trying to deal them a blow and undermine their entire business capacity in the country.
Okay, the question is not answered though, which is that there are a lot of ethnic Somali
officers and
Kenyan
senior people in the government,
senior in this government, who ought to be engaging the government at that level to temper, to moderate the approach, the strategies they're employing. What is going on? I'm sure you're in communication with those people.
During my time with Haji and Elmi, who was the minister at that time, and Duale and many others, and Abdikadir, by the way, who is there, we have engaged the government left, right, and center.
Okay.
When we sit together, including the president, by the way, including the president, we were with Kibaki, and Kibaki was agonizing. I must give him credit for that. We had this meeting in Harambee House. Kibaki was agonizing because our people were not getting the ID cards because of the profiling. We want our people to be given the ID cards. We want the ethnic.
But we understand the ID cards were being sold to Somalis.
That's what I'm coming to you.
Yes.
Who is selling it? Not Somalis. Non-Somalis in the registration bureau here are the ones who steal the identities of the genuine Kenyan Somalis. On the genuine Kenyan Somalis and give it to a refugee